Now let's talk about selecting inputs and outputs on our audio tracks if we're going to record to them. Now, whenever you press the letter I, it's going to speak the current input for a track.
Input 910.
And if I press the letter O,
stereo output,
it's going to speak the output for the track. And you see this track is a stereo track using inputs 910, and output is the stereo output, which is the mix bus or master track in Logic. Now, let's say you want to do something where you change the output of the tracks in your project to say go to a bus. Sometimes I'll do this where I set up a submix bus and I'll send the output of all the tracks that go to the stereo output to that submix bus instead. That way, if I want to bring a reference track into the project, then the reference track goes directly to the stereo output and doesn't go through any of the compression or limiters or anything I have on my submix bus. But the tracks in the project that I'm mixing go through the submix bus with the compressors and limiters. So let's say you want to do something like that. If I press
stereo output
O, it tells me that this track is currently going to the stereo output. If I press O twice,
search text field, blank.
It will bring up a list where I can choose a different output. Now, I can choose a different output on my audio interface, or I can choose to output to a bus. So I'm going to down arrow.
Check no out hyphen bus submenu.
And go to bus.
Bus submenu. 39 item solo GTRS bus submenu.
And let's find a bus now.
Bus 2 right arrow. Aux 4.
Used.
Bus 3 right arrow. Large halls. Bus 4 right arrow. 12 string and reverse. Bus 6.
Bus 6. All right. So I'm going to just select bus 6. I'm going to hit return on that.
No action available. Menu. Divider. Dimmed. Closing menu.
And now if I press the letter O.
Bus 6.
You see that track is going to bus 6.
Track 4 12 string and reverse guitars.
I'm on this 12 string and reverse guitars. Now, if I press the letter O,
stereo output,
you see that goes to the stereo output. Now, I'm going to show you a quicker way you can change this to a particular bus. If I double press O,
search text field, blank.
It disables Logic Magician, and I can type into that search field. And this is something that was added in Logic 11 or 11.1, where there's now search fields in the input and output and send dialogues. So if I just type in the number 6, and 6. Down arrow,
bus 6 right arrow, aux 6.
You see bus 6 is the option I want, so I'm just going to hit return.
Closing menu, track 4 12 string and reverse guitars, group.
So that makes it really easy to change the output of a track really quickly. I'll show you that also with inputs. I'm just going to create a new audio track here. Command Option A.
Track 8 audio 12.
So I got an audio track here. If I press the letter I.
Input 1.
And I can double press I to drop down the input menu.
Search text field, blank.
And I'm going to go down to
check mark, no input, hyphen, input, submenu.
Where it says hyphen input. And this is where I normally choose an input from my audio interface, right?
Input, submenu, so 26 items. Check mark, input 1.
Let's say I want to go to
input 2, input 3.
Input 3. I can go down to input 3 and hit return.
Closing menu. Closing menu. And track 4 12 string and reverse guitars, group.
You hear that it re-enabled LM because when I double press I, just like when I double press O, it disables LM for us. So let me do this now. Let's say I want to change this to input 5. I'm just going to double press I.
Search text field, blank.
And this time I'm just going to type in the number
T.
Oops, I'm going to type in the number 5.
Delete T.
Let me backspace that.
5.
And now if I down arrow.
Bus 5 left arrow, 12 strings ACC guitar, bus 50. Bus 51, bus 52, bus 53, bus 54, bus 55, bus 56, bus 57, bus 58, bus 59, input 5.
And there we have input 5. So I'm going to select input 5.
Closing menu, track 4 12 string
and because when you type in a number, it first shows you buses before it shows you inputs, I'm going to show you how you can get it to show you the inputs first. So if I double press I again.
Search text field, blank.
And this time I'm just going to type in
I-N-P-U-T, input 5.
And now
5.
when I down arrow.
Input 5.
Input 5 is my first option.
Closing menu, track 4 12 string and
I can hit return to select that as my input and re-enable LM. And now when I press I.
Input 5.
You see it's using input 5. And if I press O.
Stereo output.
You see it's going to the stereo output. I can double press O.
Search text field, 6.
Type in 6.
Bus 6 right arrow, aux 6.
Down arrow to bus 6.
Closing menu.
And hit return. So I and O will let you easily, quickly get to your inputs and outputs for your tracks. Generally, inputs are going to be in audio tracks, but the outputs will be for all the tracks in the project. Other things that now speak is input monitoring. So if I press Control I,
monitoring.
That enables input monitoring. If I press it again,
not monitoring.
So Control I will toggle input monitoring on and off, and Logic Magician will speak a state. So one other thing I will point out is when I press Command F,
flex on.
It turns flex mode on.
Flex off.
And off. However, if you want to do more than just turn in flex mode on and off, and you want to actually be able to select which flex mode you're using, you can quickly do that from the track inspector, and we'll cover that in the section where we talk about using the region and track inspector with Logic Magician. So to recap, I is for input and O is for output. You double press them to drop down the pop-up button so you can choose an input or output, and there is going to be a search field at the top of the menu that it drops down so that you can type in a number or something like input 5 or bus 3 to narrow down your searches and quickly select a input or output. Also, there is Control I for toggling input monitoring on and off, and Command F to toggle flex mode on and off. There's going to be a link in the description and the pinned comment to all the Logic Magician documentation and tutorials. And as always, until next time, happy recording.